Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendon Traxler.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Colonize the Ocean podcast, season finale. Brendon's got a big old smile on his face. Brendon, why are we smiling right now?
Because this is take two, because for some reason, the Adam's audio didn't get recorded. So
yeah, we recorded an entire episode and the audio didn't get recorded. You know what? It's good. It's a practice run. I'm gonna be so much more charismatic this time around.
Now we'll shave a couple minutes off too, make it a shorter one.
Oh, okay.
Easier to listen.
Yeah. So we talked about on the previous recording that we didn't get down. So this is the last episode of this season. We'll get into that at the end of the episode of what the plans are going forward. But we do kind of have one last news tidbit that we're going into. Brendon, once again, can you tell me what is going on with Elon Musk?
Yeah, this week down the pipes came Elon Musk and talking about something that not necessarily is all that new, but it's been making the rounds on the news, and with his floating platform for Starship. And anybody that's followed Starship or Elon Musk for any time remembers a couple years ago that he had a video come out when they first was debuting Starship, which is his big rocket that they're right now building and testing. But one of the ways to generate revenue for it was to use it almost as a mode of transportation here on Earth too, where you could go from any point to another point, and he said 30 minutes. Eli and Tom is always very conservative.
Ambitious.
Ambitious, yes. So either way, you're probably looking at an hour, which is still great. Any place on the face of the Earth in an hour. So that was one of the things. But in order to do this, the video showed it being out in the ocean. Multiple reasons. But that ties into, what we're doing, what seasteaders are doing, ocean builders, all these different things like that, as far as furthering ocean development, building platforms, so forth and so forth. In fact, I tweeted at Elon, replied to the tweet, and tagged ocean builders in it, to try to help those guys out and maybe get a little notoriety, because once again, they're working on ocean platforms and have got a bunch of stuff behind it already that may be helpful and may be able to lend Elon an ear there on that stuff. So yeah, that was the big news thing. Let's dive into that.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to ocean builders. If you guys get a chance to look at their website, their social media, they're always kind of posting. They got like this giant 3D printer that they're using, so it's really cool to see all the different stuff they're going to be working on with that. Brendon kind of gushed over that when we interviewed Chad Elwertowski on a previous episode. That it's just really cool because obviously it's a cool machine to be able to produce a lot of the parts that they're going to need. Besides that, going back into the whole floating platforms for SpaceX for the Starship, it's really cool because not only is it kind of an advancement in the space industry, but it kind of starts reaching into the things that we're doing, like stuff that seasteaders are doing. That we've all been talking about living amongst the ocean for a while and working amongst the ocean, and now having like a big name like Elon Musk kind of branch his business into that. Now that he's actively pursuing finding people to help him out with this is a big deal, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to jump at this opportunity, whether it's applying to work for SpaceX, whether it's companies like, say, ocean builders or similar companies that already have a lot of the experience behind them, are going to get involved in it. And it all kind of just, branches out and stems out. So not only is it an advancement for them, it helps us out as well.
Yeah, totally. And, one of the things with Elon Musk goes back to one of the things I've said multiple times on the podcast and other places too, is I think one of the reasons why ocean development and exploration and so forth, and so it doesn't get more notoriety and stuff like that, and it's because there isn't that one figurehead out there like Elon Musk who has made it. And that's the thing about Elon Musk, is everybody talks about him being this great. What's the word I'm looking for?
Visionary.
Well, yeah, he is, but
entrepreneur.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
creative genius.
Yeah, all those things. But he doesn't create anything new per se. He takes existing technologies, makes them affordable to the masses, makes them sexy, using first principles on a lot of stuff. And similar with the floating, the launch floating platform, the idea, and has been used around for a couple decades by Russia, China, and so forth, as far as launching from the ocean rockets and stuff along those lines. So it's nothing new, but once again, he's taking a known technology and bringing it to the masses, and who knows what he's going to do with it. Everything he does is bigger and better anyway, so it could be this massive platform out there, which goes back to some of your thoughts about how you envision possibly that all playing out too.
Yeah, we kind of talked on the last recording that when you think about the platform out there that they're going to launch from, they're going to have all these. They're going to have a facility out there as well. So maybe not have to, but I envision that they'd have a facility out there. And are they going to put the facility on a separate platform, or could they utilize being underwater like what we're trying to do to be a little bit closer to the launch site? Because obviously you can't have a building right up next to the facility or right from the launch pad.
Right. And, some of the things that have been said over the past week is that you would come from land to the facility via Hyperloop or something along those lines. And so you get thinking about that and how it's going to play out. If it's along the ocean floor, the Hyperloop coming out, you're going to have to go at some kind of facility underwater, then come up to it either way. So even if you're only staying there for just layovers and along those lines, you're still going to have some kind of entertainment, hotels, whatever. Hey, we can hook you up. And that's kind of where, we come into play with the whole thing. So yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, this is years down the road still, especially with Elon time. But
right.
Either way, it's cool. It's in the news. As they say, there is no such thing as bad news when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it gets the name out there and gets people hyped and start looking at it. Now, we were interviewed by NBC online article last week, and they heard us from the podcast. So, once again, that's one of the reasons we do the podcast, is get this information out there. But at the same time, it comes back and helps us around in the long run. So it's cool.
Yeah, and like we've jokingly said since the beginning is, if we could just get a hold of the ears of Elon Musk for 10 minutes, granted, it'd be nice to have it, for like an hour or whatever. But if we had 10 minutes to kind of throw him a pitch on what Atlantis Sea Colony is and stuff, I think that it'd be an industry that he'd be interested in, or be able to, like you said, kind of take what we have and kind of utilize it. And I don't want to say take, like he's just going to steal it, but work with a company like us that is trying to do something innovative and I guess ambitious, because that's kind of everything he does is ambitious. Being able to utilize what we're doing and just kind of, I guess, increase its potential. And that's, we always crack jokes. Well, I do, on the Facebook page, and when I make memes about the space industry and competing with them. But at the same time, we always say, a lot of what we do goes hand in hand with that too. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to discredit anything Elon Musk has done, because, like you said, everything he's done, he's taken something and just reinvented it and made it more efficient, made it sleeker, made it, I don't want to use the word affordable, but made it cheaper than what the industry has been before. Like with the rocket launches and stuff lately, it's a lot cheaper than what NASA was doing it for. So, yeah, but that's kind of on the business side, I guess, of Elon. But I guess, yeah, it's just a lot of respect for him for what he's been able to do.
And the word I was thinking about was inventor.
Inventor.
That was what I was trying to remember.
That's not a very hard word to think of.
I don't know what my problem is, man. I'm fighting a cold. Maybe it's the cold medicine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be that. But anyway, I think that, once again, we'll link articles in here. I'm sure most of you have already seen the articles, but either way, we'll throw them in there. Check it out. There's tons of them out there and about. So, yeah, it's cool stuff.
So, yeah, with that, we mentioned at the top of the episode that we are going to be taking a break. Is what we are going to be working on is we both got some, stuff throughout the summer that we're going to be working on. I mean, Atlanta Sea Colony and its social medias and all that, nothing's happening with that. Obviously, we're going to still be very active. We're still going to be doing stuff, but we're just going to take a small break from the podcast. We kind of want to bring it back a little bit, a little bit more improved. Is what we're working on is trying to get some more guests on, different experts in the field, and like Brendon mentioned before, like even just working with the community, maybe not experts, but people that are interested in this, just be able to talk with them about it, whether it's followers of Atlanta Sea Colony or just people that have general interest, be able to talk with them more. So yeah, it'll come back and it'll be even better, and we're open to any feedback that you guys might have for the next season.
Yeah, because we've already got several followers that have voiced interest in wanting to be involved in some way or another with this whole thing, and trying to figure out how that all looks and plays out. So we haven't forgotten about you guys. We're just trying to figure out how to make that work and happen. Obviously, the podcast is one of them, and we're trying to get that worked out. But as well as we'll talk about here in a second, I'll let you go into that. It was our Patreon. I'll let you talk about that. But one of the perks we're looking at possibly adding on there is Zoom meetings with backers at a certain level. For either just news wise, let you know what's going on, feedback, powwow, stuff along those lines too. So that may be coming down as well. We're still looking at the logistics of all that as well. But
right,
why don't you talk us a little about Patreon over there, Adam?
Yeah, so like we've been mentioning in the last few episodes, if you have the ability to help out, 2020 has been a crazy year for a lot of people. It's affected people differently. But if you have the ability and the opportunity to help us out, we would appreciate if you went to our Patreon over at www.patreon.com/Atlanta Sea Colony. And we have a couple tiers set up there right now, like $1 a month, $5 a month. And all that's subject to change. Maybe if we get different interests and stuff, we can add some different tiers in there. But if you're willing to help us out, even with like that little donation, that helps us do a ton of different stuff. That helps us just with Atlanta Sea Colony in general, starting to buy the stuff that we need for development of Atlanta Sea Colony. It helps us, with the podcast. It can just help us with a lot of different things, outreach, getting to expos and stuff like that. That was one of the things we kind of mentioned last time, is that, with 2020, we had a couple of trips that were planned, but due to COVID, we weren't able to do that. So, yeah, it could just help out with a lot of different things, but I keep hammering the point that it'll help us get moving on Atlanta Sea Colony.
Yeah. Like I said, as you're saying, 2020 has so far been a wash. It's just even trying to get a hold of vendors and stuff along those lines, and suppliers for different, as we're looking at trying to do something. Well, our plans were lofty for 2020 anyway, but have pretty much been pushed back pretty hard just because nobody's communicating or have the means to, because of everything that's going on. So that's okay. It is what it is. I'm not getting too bent out of shape about it. But yeah, it just gives us 2021 to be a better year. And that comes back to you guys, anybody listening and stuff like that. What is it about the podcast that you guys have enjoyed? What is it you don't like? What do you want to hear more of? What do you want to see less of? All those types of things. Very interested in. Like, as the new segments, do you guys? What in the world are you doing with the dog?
I wanted to give everybody okay, never mind. A quick
the
perk. I was gonna show everybody my dog that watches the video version, but apparently he doesn't want to be lifted right now.
Anyway, as I was saying, wow, yeah. So
I promise I didn't hurt him. He's just being a jerk.
if the news segments, that's what you like, great. If it's not, we've already talked about, trying to get more interviews to cut down the news segments as well. But if the news segments are great, we'll just add more podcasts in type of thing too. So, your feedback is important. We want this to add value to you guys. We don't want to just be producing this for no reason. So yeah, please let us know. We're very interested.
Yeah, and with that, you can get a hold of us. Basically, just go to colonizetheocean.com, atlantaseacolony.com. You can find all of our social media links on there. That would include your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LBRY, Minds. What else am I forgetting here?
TikTok,
they're all there.
Reddit.
LinkedIn, Reddit, yeah. Yep. It's all there. So, and then like I said in the last recording, whatever you do follow us on, whether it is on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's whatever you listen to this on, whatever podcast device or app that you use to listen to this, subscribe to it, share it, do that with all of our social medias. That helps the bigger community we get, the better outreach we get with Atlantis Sea Colony. So anything that you guys can do to help, whether it's helping with Patreon or just sharing the word of Atlantis Sea Colony, is all the better.
Yep, you got it. Especially with YouTube, I think in the last episode of what you're alluding to there was looking at the algorithms and stuff along those lines. And most people who watch the YouTube version aren't subscribed to the page. So please subscribe. Please like the button.
Yeah.
Please smash that like button like the kids say these days.
Smash it.
And
so with that, guys, we will be back. I would like to say soon, but soon's a relative term based on who you are. So we won't be gone long, and you'll know when we come back, and we'll have some quality stuff for you. So until then, guys, thank you, and we'll see you on season 2.
Bye.